and we should be streaming now. I'm going to check on the other stream. Screen, words.
There we go.
Hell yeah. Okay, so you should be able to see what I'm doing, like, at a more immediate way than the stream, so that way.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Yeah, are you getting that?
Like to watch stream, but then okay, hang on. Just load it up. There we are. There we go. Daniel is dying again. How many times have you done that before? Like, what reincarnation is this?
I don't know. I'm coming up on 200 attempts on Lunatic mode. It's very exciting, so I wanted to record it, even though it'll be completely the same as all of the other ones. But yeah.
Okay, so given, like, so 200 attempts, say each life is around, like, 90 to 100 years old. That dates back to, like, Jesus times.
Wait, what?
Actually, with reincarnation you were on, you said 200.
Oh, I just got... Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
So anyway.
So how was Oily Josh?
Oily Josh. I do love that little factoid that that's his name.
Yeah.
Joshua, son of Joseph. Jojo.
Yep. He's gonna be the protagonist of JoJo Lands.
Isn't it a woman?
Sorry?
But...
Oh, we don't know yet.
Oh, okay.
No, like, literally the only thing we know about JoJo Lands is that it's going to be called JoJo Lands, and even then we don't know that for sure, because that can change.
Yeah.
Which is weird, considering it's like coming up on a year since JoJolion finished.
Oh,
actually, I think it has been a year. When did
Oh my god, my controls just flubbed, and even though I stopped pressing the button...
Oh no.
It didn't register. Okay. So this is, you know, this is just a warm-up run, so it's fine. I just invented that excuse, but you know, sometimes it's less about the truth and more about how it feels.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the 1-year anniversary of JoJolion's ending was 2 days ago.
Oh wow! Happy birthday!
And we still don't know anything about Part 9.
I'm kind of alright with that. I wasn't a big fan of JoJolion's ending. Maybe it would have made more sense if I knew a little bit more about, like, the rest of it, but...
Yeah. As I say, I liked it because, like, I'd read, like, all of JoJolion. And, because how many chapters did it have? It had, like, 110 chapters, I think. It was the longest running part.
Yeah, because it was coming out monthly instead of weekly.
Yeah, and it was way longer. Like, with the weekly chapters, they're about 25 pages. JoJolion was about 40 per chapter.
Okay.
Because, I think the change was during Stillball Run, because that started coming out weekly, and then no, I don't think it was halfway through. I think it's about 20% through the run it changed to monthly. Yeah, like by page count and by like time serialized, it's the longest one.
Yeah, I mean it started in 2011, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it started in 2011, ended in 2021.
Yeah.
So it ran for like about
like
2.5 years.
The fucking pandemic happened towards the end.
Yeah. Yeah, because like, how much of JoJo have you like properly read?
How much have I read? Not a lot.
Ah. Well, read or watched.
I've
like,
but I'm it's got my attention split. Sorry. Sorry, it's not you. It's not. Sorry, it's not you. I'm just my computer that I'm trying to use to watch the how the stream is coming out is deciding to not do anything. So I'm just a little sorry. It's not that important. You can say if someone says something in chat.
Yeah, I'll just like because I'll probably respond to it. We haven't had anything so far, but there's still like 2 hours left for it to change.
Yeah. Got raided a couple streams back. That was quite nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Sorry, I know it's not about the view count. I know it's not about that, but
yeah. Because like that's the thing that I like about like this stream, my friend's stream, is that like since it is like smaller and there's usually not too many people there, it feels a lot like more closely knit, so it doesn't feel like you're just screaming into the void hoping to be heard.
Okay, yeah, I got the stream up on my other screen.
Hey, there you go.
Finally, we got one viewer. Oh, that's interesting. Is that one? You're viewing the... Okay.
Yeah, I've got it open. Well, there we go, that's 2.
Wait, is that you and me, or is it...
It might be, I'm not sure.
I wish I understood how things work.
Yeah. Same here.
They say knowledge is power, but it's really a bear.
Yeah.
See, I wish I could stream the music to you, because like the music of the game is so good. Oh yeah,
like,
speaking of which...
That was one of those games that's like known for its music.
Yeah, I mean it was made as a way to distribute music.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. How did I dodge that? I was so distracted. Oh my god. Fuck. Okay, I didn't dodge that one. See, this is why this is the first run. And this is my 199th run. The next run, we're gonna beat it. The whole thing.
Yeah. Gotta make this game all bitch.
Yeah, and then Split Jaw will see, and he'll eat the words from his mouth.
I'll make you eat those words.
And I'll finally prove myself as someone worth. No.
Actually,
because
I just got reminded that have you seen the Shadow the Hedgehog fan dub yet?
Yes, I have. It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. I've only seen about half of it so far. Probably watch the rest of it tomorrow when I get back from work.
It's so wonderful. It's so...
Yeah, because like when I'm at work, I spend about like 8 hours on my feet all day, and then I have to bike there and back as well. So I spend about 2 hours when I get back just not on my bed, just not moving.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because on the Friday I was like, I was feeling kind of worn out. Like I wasn't doing as well as I usually did. Like wasn't able to get stuff done as fast. I made a couple of mistakes here and there. And my colleague said like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like everyone has the bad days.
Yeah, I'm guessing you're just like acclimating to it.
Well, that and like I've been doing it for a good 5 days at that point with not much rest, like not as much rest as I need. Oh, there we go. We got a commenter. Is anyone watching this chat around my free post cringe?
You're free to post cringe. I'm sure Dante.
Cringe it up, I did. Oh, Sorry? I've seen much worse than cringe. I said I've seen much worse than cringe.
You don't know the depths.
I've seen much worse than cringe.
I've seen things people like you wouldn't believe. Furry porn on my dashboard at work. All those.
Have you seen that film?
What? Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. I only remember that really. Yeah, I only remember the scene where he assaults a woman. So, my opinion of it isn't great, but I hear it's... but I remember there were good things about it.
Oh yeah, that's it is a really good film. It's a very dark film, but it is a really good one. There's that line right at the end from the main villain. Talking about how, like, relentless time is and that everything will eventually be forgotten no matter how powerful or strong it is.
Yeah. It's sad.
Yeah, like he has been a bastard through a lot of it, but...
I mean, the thing that I remember was him going to his creator and being like, hey, I need a way for me and my partner, I believe, to, like, not die really fast. And the creator is like...
gang. I think he, like, goes up to his creator and grabs him by the head and he's like, we want more life.
Yeah.
I think those are the exact
I don't see why the creator couldn't give them more life.
Maybe they were built so they could have been given more life.
Just change it, you know.
But that's the thing with the replicants is they're built to do like very specific like labor jobs and then die after about 30 years.
Yeah, so they're like Mega Man robots.
Yeah, but darker.
Like Guts Man. Or like Centaur Man, who was a tour guide.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember. There's like...
That was the actor for Roy Batty's Still Alive and he died about 3 years ago.
Oh. Wait, what?
Yeah, Rutger. Rutger Hauer, the guy who played Roy Batty in Blade Runner, he died about 3 years ago.
Oh! Yeah, gosh, I remember that name, because he was, at one point, he was voicing Xehanort from Kingdom Hearts. Fuck.
Oh yeah, he was!
Yeah. And then I believe what happened was they got an understudy to play Xehanort in the DLC, and I believe that guy died as well.
Yeah.
Before that, it was Leonard
Xehanort is just a very cursed role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's it, because there was, so far we know, Leonard Nimoy, Rutger Hauer, and Rutger Hauer's understudy, and all three of them are dead.
Yeah. Actually, don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on the Rutger Hauer one. Hold on, let me... Xehanort voice actor. Master Xehanort behind the voices. Most times...
when did Kingdom Hearts 3 come out?
Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, I believe... It came out while we were in college. So...
Yeah, 2019, there we go. So, here we go, 25th of January 2019. So I think, yeah, it was probably Rutger Hauer playing it then.
Yeah, okay, so in Kingdom Hearts 3, it was Rutger Hauer and then Christopher Lloyd. Is Christopher Lloyd dead, or is he alive? The last role he has is Xehanort, so not looking good for you, buddy.
I mean, he is really old.
Christopher Lloyd.
Because do you know what else he's been in?
No, hold on. He's alive as far as I can tell. Sorry.
Cool.
What else?
Maybe he's just retired.
Yeah. What else is he? In?
I'm pretty sure he's the guy that plays Doc Brown in Back to the Future.
Oh yeah. Okay. So. Yeah. Because yeah, he's Doc Brown in Lego Dimensions, so it wouldn't shock me if.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. Back to the Future. He's Doc Brown in a lot of things. I expect if I go back far enough, it'll be.
Yeah, he's 83.
83, gosh.
What was the most recent thing he was in? Because on Google, the link to his IMDb page says actor The Mandalorian.
Oh. That's pretty cool. Wonder who he was.
Oh yeah, that's what else I knew him from. He was the bad guy in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Here we go. He was The Mandalorian, episode 3.1. Yes, I think he was in the first episode of season. Is there a season 3 of? Yeah, here we go. Season 3, episode 1. He was in that. If that's out yet, I don't think it is.
Okay. Wait, there's a season 3 Mandalorian.
Yeah, because
wait, is that just the
I
book
think they're
of
still making it. Yeah.
Is that just the book of Boba Fett? Because I know that like Mandalorian and like the Disney Plus stuff. Oh, I don't like thinking about it that much, but.
As you say, because like that's the thing with Disney, is they're getting way too crossover happy. It's too much of a good thing.
Yeah. That's like,
I think
Into
it is
the
like
Spider-Verse did a
season 3 of The Mandalorian separate from Boba Fett.
Okay. Right. So there's like, if you just watch The Mandalorian, there's a load of shit that happens between seasons then. Yeah, Mikey's saying it's weird to not know him as Doc Brown, but in my defense, the limit of my knowledge of Back to the Future is that one part that John Mulaney talked about, and then our lecturer Gareth saying that Back to the Future is his favorite film.
Yeah, because because he keeps saying about whenever he says the best film of all time, he's referring to Back to the Future. But then whenever I say it, I'm referring to Akira. So whenever he said that, I always think, oh, I didn't know you were such a fan of Akira.
That's some fun shit.
As I say, I'm the same way with Christopher Lloyd, because when I hear Christopher Lloyd, I think Doc Brown. Because I forgot he was in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
But yeah, I'm not super well versed on like anything. I have a lot of very like surface level nerd knowledge. Like oh, this is a bad run. This is a horrible run.
Oh, yeah.
This is my 200th run, and I am dying constantly.
Wait. And so Mikey said that he's going to strap you to a chair and duct tape your eyes open for a Back to the Future movie trilogy.
Good luck finding out where I live.
I was gonna say, Gareth, why are you calling yourself Mikey Buster?
That would be like the long con. That would be so. Yeah, I actually know Mikey from a good while before I went to uni. Also, I just realized when I was talking about Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out when we were in college, I forgot that you didn't go to CRC with me, and I mixed up my friend groups again.
Yeah. I did go to a college, and I kind of did a course that led into this one. I don't want to say where it is, just in case some rando watches it in the future and thinks, oh, that's where his family lives.
Yeah, I could probably very easily dox myself. I have no like filter. I've probably already doxed myself, and like freaking Mikey
I
can
almost
just
did.
say,
Yeah.
Mike,
I
go
almost
message
did on
Mikey
another
Bus.
stream.
Yeah, go message Mikey on Discord, and he'll tell you my social security number.
Joke's on you, I don't have one.
My social security number is 69. And my password is eat my asshole.
Oh, that's not the real password.
You're gonna love the rest of the Shadow Dub.
Yeah. I've already
There's just like one line in it.
I'm actually not. I'm actually on planet fuck you.
Yeah, there's oh god, what is it? There's one line in particular that like recontextualizes the rest of the dub, and it was like completely on the fly, and it's hilarious.
Yeah. I haven't seen that bit yet.
Yeah, when I heard it, it was just like, oh yeah, that's actually really funny.
Yeah, because that reminds me, about 2 or 3 hours ago, I watched Once Upon a Time in the West with my dad, and there was this one scene that really fucking confused me. But like looking up what other people saying about it, it kind of contextualized it and made it make sense and made the film even better.
Mm. Ah.
Yeah, like I was saying, I can't remember how long ago it was, but it was I was a guest star on my friend's streaming Persona 5.
Oh, Persona 5!
And, yeah, but it was Strikers, the sequel spin-off thing. And I said when I go back to uni, but I almost said like town instead of the actual uni.
Oh no. I've almost definitely said where the uni is on stream.
Yeah. I think I got drowned out anyway because there were 3 other people on that call. And I was on my phone and they were on computers, so yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think it's alright though. Well, speaking of that streamer, I actually got a Spyro plushie with all this.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, just
cool.
as a thank you for like helping me. Just for helping me being one of the helpers through all the shit I've been going through. Once I get some more money, I'm gonna like get everything, get a little something for everyone.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah. Well, like. The only person I can't is my German friend who also helped me with that, but that's just because I don't know where to send it.
And you never will.
Which is fair. Like, the only way I was able to get my other foreign friend a present is because, like, she has a thing set up where you can actually, which, like, links to her Amazon wishlist, and if you want, you can buy things for her from that. What I used to get the Spyro plushie.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and about 4 times.
Oh yeah. So. I have something to say, but I'll wait until I can focus a little bit more on conversation to talk about it. So brace yourself for a surprise. Fuck. This is a bad session. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we all have our bad days.
But it's fine, because any practice is good.
Well, actually, I just got reminded of this weird thing I stumbled across a couple of days ago for some reason. So, basically, like, I was doing, I think I was drawing something. I had, like, Family Guy compilations on in the background noise, because that's all Family Guy is at this point. It's just background noise from YouTube. It's not a show anymore. It's background noise. But yeah, like, for some reason,
I don't have time to watch shows, so I just watch Family Guy.
Yeah. Well, I want to start watching Sandman because it looks really good.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, no. I want to read the comics first, then I want to watch it.
Fuck. Oh,
shit.
I wish I didn't die. I wish.
But yeah, like in Sandman, Mark Hamill actually plays a character in it.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, he plays the guy with the pumpkin head.
Pumpkin rapping is about to happen.
Yeah, I can't remember what the character's name is. I think it was like Melvin or something. Like Melvin Pumpkinhead.
Oh.
But yeah, what's the thing? Yeah, as I said, I wanted to read the Sandman comics first and then watch the series. But it was one of them. At the end of this video, there was this really weird, like, they just had this animation from another show, which I then looked up just because it looked so weird, and the animation was kind of shit, and I wanted to know enough about it to properly shit on it. And so basically I looked it up, and it's this, like, Indian-made knockoff of Family Guy called Family Gal.
Yeah, I remember that trending a while back. Family Guy in India.
Yeah, like, because, like, honestly, the animation shit. Like, it looks like, I can't remember the name of it. But it's like, one of those kids animation programs. It looks like it was made using that. But, like, I looked at the synopsis for it as well. It says, like, meet neighborhood family gal Miranda Whizball. She hates men.
What?
Yeah, that was just the thing. It was like, yeah, it was like, I could only read like the first paragraph of it without like just cringing myself into a black hole because every character description was just she hates men.
What? What?
It was like, meet neighborhood family gal, a mother of two Miranda Whizball who hates men. Her girlfriend Susan, aka Susu, who also hates men. And her overbearing mother, who also hates men.
That doesn't... Is there some kind of like cultural context?
I don't know, but
is there anything that makes this not immediately suck?
No. Like, there's 3 episodes of it, I've only seen the thumbnails and they all look awful. But yeah, it's like, they just kept saying she hates men or they hate men, like...
That doesn't make any sense.
Like, that's not a personality trait. That's not a personality trait, it just makes you into one of those women from that viral BuzzFeed video from like 2016 where they ask nonsensical questions instead of actual ones that women are genuinely curious about.
Yeah, like, whenever hates men is like a character trait, it means this is what I like to imagine feminists are like.
Yeah.
So that I don't have to look at how misogyny and patriarchy actually work.
Hmm.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, like, to be fair, like, there is, like, I think there is, like, a patriarchy that needs to be dealt with, but, like, it's nowhere near as bad now as it was in, like, the 50s and 60s and shit.
Yeah, not as bad, I suppose.
Yeah, it's still like a problem, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was.
Yeah, I'm not
And
ultra well like versed on feminist theory, but
yeah, me
it's
neither.
like I would definitely let's get together and have a
Yeah.
read along session.
Yeah.
Or,
Like I have like seen a couple people in arguments online, like from because like when I was about 14 or 15, I used to watch those anti-feminist videos, which is just men being angry at women.
yeah.
And
For some reason,
I only did that for about like a year or two before I grew the fuck up.
yeah. For some reason, a lot of the like old atheist skeptic community did that, and like, I
Yeah.
get why. It's because it was never actually about exploring something interesting. It was just about like, dunking on people, and that's why like some of the people who were like actually interested in learning stuff just stopped engaging with it at all. Because they were just like, I don't like this anymore. I don't like this. And like they couldn't, and so they went to like debunking flat earthers, and then like, which is pretty cool. Like flat Earth isn't like as popular as it used to be, but like there's still a lot of weird conspiracy theories out there that I think deserve to be addressed.
Because I remember in the secondary school we had to do like a presentation on a subject we had to choose, and conspiracy theories was the only one that really like seemed interesting to me.
Yeah,
I wrote like. So I did one about how Bush did 9/11, which looking back was incredibly fucking cringe. And I can see why I can see now why I had two friends in secondary school.
I remember hearing back in primary school about this conspiracy theory that sounded really like legit. And it was like the company that made the Titanic crashed it on purpose to claim insurance on like a different ship, and they swapped the ships because like there was the sister ship, the Olympic. I believe that was its name.
Yeah, it was something to do with Olympus.
Yeah. I got reminded of it recently because what's his face? Prosy D recently made a let's play. Recently made a let's play of Zero Escape, and one of the plot points is like a slightly altered version of history where like one of the sister ships to the Titanic was like something called the Gigantic, and that's the ship that they're on.
Yeah.
Okay. 200
Although I want to do like a
attempts.
parody of that, because like I want to get the last book I need to properly run a Deadlands game. Because because Kieran got me like a module for it for my birthday, not for my birthday, for Christmas. And
wait, is that? I thought it was. I remember playing a game of Deadlands on your birthday. That wasn't the same one.
Yeah, it was no, it wasn't that one. It was because I think that was something that Kieran made up, whereas this one is an actual like module written by the people who made it.
Okay. Oh, the module, because you got given like a thingy, something.
So I got like I got the rule book, and then for Christmas he got me a DM screen for the game as well, which came with a module of Showdown and Thunder.
Okay, that makes it make more sense.
Yeah, and I want to have like once I've done that and like I'm able to understand the game more and I can write my own kind of module around it. I want to have one that like mentions since it takes place in like on planet Earth than in the actual US. Well, also version of the US where
live.
California's water. Yeah.
Planet Earth.
Where but there's I want to do like
Docks.
something like that where where there was the Titanic and there were the three sister ships: the Olympic, the Gigantic, and the
Yeah.
absolutely fucking enormous.
Yeah. Well, no. Wait. Well, no. The Olympic. Yeah. The other one was the Britannic. Not to be confused with Britannic, the comedy channel.
Yeah. But yeah, I was making a joke about how the sister ship in that game that they were playing was called the Gigantic.
Okay, so this is like an established part of like fictional settings then, I guess.
I know it isn't, I just made that up.
Oh, okay.
Well, I made the one I said I made up, but then there was the one that ProZD played where it was the Gigantic.
Yeah.
And I wanted to incorporate that into my version where there was Titanic. So there was the ships would have, in that world the ships would have been Titanic and the sister ships Olympic, Britannic, Gigantic, and absolutely fucking enormous.
The HMS Domitable. Sister ship to the Vincible and the Vulnerable.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the...
Yeah, just like they wake up on a boat and it's like, excuse me, is this boat, are we on the Titanic? Or they're meant to get on the Titanic and they get on the wrong boat. It's like, excuse me, are we on the Titanic?
Fuck.
No, you're on its sister ship, the HMS Gigantic. Well, actually, no, the HMS Absolutely Fucking Enormous. And they think it's a joke and that they are on the Titanic, and then they look over the side and it just says HMS Absolutely Fucking Enormous.
HMS Big Boy.
HMS Chunky.
HMS Big Chungus.
Yeah. HMS. Oh, he coming. The HMS not compensating for anything.
Do you know about Big Chungus? Big Chungus? Yes, Big Chungus. Isn't he just some cartoon rabbit? Not just any rabbit. The most famous rabbit of all, Bugs Bunny. Do you understand, Snake? Big Chungus lives on as the dominant being, and that is what I intend to do.
Yeah. I was gonna say, because they put Big Chungus in Space Jam, didn't they?
Yeah. They put, like, friggin' Space Jam was just like, hey, wanna see how many properties we own?
Yeah.
Which I guess has its place, but it's just like, it just reminds me, oh wow, this one company owns a lot of our childhoods. Maybe someone should do something about it. Oh fuck, I fucked up. I am fucking up a lot.
Oh shit.
Oh my god!
I'm pretty sure
oh my god!
Company...
What the hell?
Jesus.
I am...
I think every company in the world is like owned by 7 parent companies. Like, I think Disney's one of them, Coke's another one. I think Viacom's one of them. I think I'll have a look at that. See what that is.
Okay. I have made 2 gigantic errors, and
there you go. 7 companies that own everything.
Yeah, okay. Because there's Disney and there's Coke, and then there's the Koch brothers, who are different from
there's
Coke.
10 of them.
Doesn't Kellogg's own a lot of... Let's just fucking...
Yeah, here we go. Can't really, here we go, there's Nestle, Coke, PepsiCo...
Nestle, those fuckers.
Unilever... Yep. Kellogg's is one of them, Associated British Foods, Mars, Danone, and Mondelez.
I just reset my run because I was dying so
Oh, is that?
much.
I think that might just be the food one. Yeah, there we go. 100. Yeah, there's a different one for each one. Like that was food. This one's beauty. So like there's L'Oreal, Unilever. I can't read these, but most of them are French sounding.
Interesting.
Here we go. Look. Here we go. The handful of companies that own everything: Disney, NBC, CBS, and Viacom. Okay, so Viacom is owned by CBS.
CBS.
AMC, NBC.
That's one of those. That's fucking an American broadcasting network, right?
I think so, yeah.
That's what Seinfeld was on. I think.
Yeah.
Why do I know that?
Probably because B-movie.
Yeah. That's basically the only thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's the show Seinfeld, and then there's the B-movie, and that's the limit of Jerry Seinfeld. And I don't know what he's doing nowadays.
Didn't Jerry Seinfeld apologize for B-movie?
He better fucking have.
I can't remember whether he apologized for just for B-movie in general, or whether just for the relationship in B-movie.
Viacom is the company that owns Nickelodeon and therefore SpongeBob. Interesting.
Here we go, Seinfeld B-movie apology. Here we go. First result, an article from IndieWire. Jerry Seinfeld apologizes for B-movie and its sexual aspect.
And its sexual aspect. Do they... I've only really heard it in, like, passing, so I assumed that it might be a joke. Do they really fuck? Does...
I mean, it's a kid's film, so you can't explicitly say it.
I know, not fuck, but, like... Is she really, like... Is that really a romantic relationship?
I don't know, like, it's kind of hinted that it is, but then...
Does she really fuck a bee?
The film ends with them being business partners. Like, there's,
Yeah, the politics of that
because
movie
I remember
are
at the end
kind
of
of
the...
weird.
Yeah, because there's the,
Fuck!
thing of, like...
Oh my god, I hate this attack. I hate this attack so much. Oh, sorry.
I think there was the whole plot point of bees in that film not getting paid for their work, but the thing is, like, they see honey. Like, I think the reason it works for them is because they see honey as like an export.
Mm.
And then because Jerry Seinfeld doesn't understand economics, he ruins the entire bee economy and almost kills nature because of corporate greed.
Okay.
Honestly, like, some of my favorite moments are where I just come up with completely random sentences that mean nothing out of context. Like the one I came up with, like, right at the start of the pandemic, being Peppa Pig is canonically dead in the Family Guy universe.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Peppa Pig is canonically dead in the Family Guy universe.
Oh my god.
So basically, one of the characters fakes their death by crashing their car and putting a pig behind the wheel. And Peter asks, "What of the pig?" And Joe goes, "Well, honestly, that was a very difficult house, Carl." And he goes to Peppa Pig's house.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so you just have Joe from Family Guy and Peppa Pig. He knocks on the door. It's just like So, and then they come out. It's just like yes. Excuse me. Do you have a daughter named Peppa? Yes, we do. You're gonna want to sit down for this one.
Okay, I didn't die like a bitch during this. Oh. And yes, Mikey, that is nice. Also, Mikey said earlier, the HMS not compensating for anything, which I love.
Yeah, I saw that one. Actually, no, I'm like, in my Deadlands game, I'm not calling it the HMS fucking enormous anymore. I'm calling it the HMS not compensating for anything.
Yes.
I've stolen that from you, Mikey, and since you don't legally own it, you can't do a thing about it.
NFTs all over again.
Oh no.
How was I able to dodge that? Oh my god.
Magic.
Well, I am playing as a magician.
Yes.
Of course, if I was playing...
I was gonna make a magician's red pun, but
Fuck.
she doesn't have any red on her.
Yeah, my thumbnail is pretty red, so maybe that works.
Maybe. Also, Mikey, you can't hunt with the sport item protected by the National Trust.
You're an endangered species.
Yep. I am actually an endangered species. There's not many silver-headed idiots left.
No more cowboy weebs left in the wild.
We're only in
They were all
captivity now.
lost in the war. Oh,
I mean, to be fair, that makes sense because America has been in like the American Civil War. That wasn't the only war that America had in like that kind of era. There was the Texas War for Independence. There was I'm pretty sure the what was it called? The Hatfields and the McCoys. Like, pretty sure that was a war. There'll be one less after I find you. See, the thing is, you're not supposed. You don't think about whether you'd be able to take me in a fight. You'd be able to think about whether you'd be able to take the National Trust in a fight.
well, yeah, but also, right? Dante can use
I'm
a bow
crazy
and
enough to take
arrow.
on Batman, but the IRS, no, thank you.
You can use a bow and arrow. You can almost use a gun.
Yeah, I mean,
I bet, like, you and him in a fight, like, who's coming out on
Plus,
top?
I'm a black belt.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't. It's kind of like a. It's not. I don't know if it's classed as like a proper martial art, but I do like having that martial arts knowledge, and I managed to get to black belt in that class. It was I don't know how many branches they have, but it was a place called freestyle martial arts, which is kind of like a more relaxed MMA.
Fudge. But congratulations on your MMA. That's your masters.
The last time I went to a.
That's your
the last
martial
time I went to a
masters.
class was, yeah. I think last time I went to a class was pre-pandemic because they shut down in the pandemic, and then by the time it finished, I'd gone to uni.
Oh no, am I gonna... Okay, thank god, I was about to time that spell card out. And that's really bad because, Mei Ling... Because Mei Ling can provide me the 1-up that I just lost.
Alright.
That I just lost trying to beat her. Can't believe Mikey simped for her. Unbelievable.
We've all had our regretful simps.
Huh. Simp verb. Huh.
Yeah, it's one of those words that's both an adjective and a verb.
Yeah.
And a noun.
Yeah, it's not an adjective, I don't believe. That was so simp. Maybe simple. But how did I dodge that? Okay.
Yeah, I got my grammar mixed up.
How's your grammar? Oh, well, she's doing lovely.
How's your grandma? She died 3 years ago.
Oh no. Both my grandmas are alive. Well, actually, my biological grandma died before I was born, but that's fine. Because my granddad remarried, and my Granny Annie is lovely.
Wait, your grandmother's called Anne?
Yeah.
So was mine.
Not to be confused with my great aunt Anne, who is sadly no longer with us.
Yeah. And so mine, so we both have Anns in our lives that are no longer with us.
Fudge!
That's it.
Okay.
Thankfully, thankfully she's the only grandparent. Like, she's the only person in my family that I've lost. So,
Oh.
we have that
So
at
the
least.
worst is yet to come.
Yep.
No, but yeah, lost my granddad a couple years. It was actually a little bit more recent than that, but like, yeah, it does get a little bit worse with every death because with every death, you reminded of all
There's
of the
less
deaths
people.
that have happened.
Yeah, so it kind of snowballs.
Yeah, I remember hearing my dad explain how it felt to him like that. It was very interesting. Sorry, I know I'm being a Debbie Downer, but
That's fine. I was gonna say something as well, which is like worse than that. So,
oh,
as I say, because like, with
that
what you're
makes
saying about
me
how
the good guy.
Yeah, as I say, because like with what you're saying about how it only gets worse, because like I just realised that I'm someday gonna have to deal with my dad dying, and he's like the most important person in my life, so I don't want to fucking think about that.
Yeah, don't think about that. Do as much thinking about it as the computer did when I tried to press down there for a second.
Ah.
Oh my god, Okay. This boss, I believe her name is pronounced Kawakama, but I always pronounce it Kawakuma. Yeah, this isn't the run.
Yep.
But I can still fight against Patchouli. And I can still try
To be
my
fair, I
best.
think like well, I wish she's supposed to be from, because I think if she's Japanese, then Kawakuma, like, since they usually kind of emphasize the first syllable in a word, it probably could be Kawakuma.
Yeah, I'm just thinking
Like
about
how,
because of Monokuma from Dangan.
Right. Yeah. Because I was gonna say, because like for example, you can tell the difference between an anime fan and a non-anime fan, because an anime fan will call them and a non-anime fan will call them Naruto and Jotaro.
Yeah. Although you don't always see an anime fan pronouncing Goku correctly. To the point where like freaking Kaiser Neko. Apparently this is a true story. He got like stopped in a bar and someone said, "Pronounce Goku correctly."
That's it, because like that reminds me of something even worse. Basically, there was this clip that was going viral a couple of days ago of this Fortnite YouTuber talking about how to use the Kamehameha now that Goku's in Fortnite.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know how he pronounces Kamehameha?
How?
Kamiyamama.
Kamiyamama?
Yeah.
The weird thing is that it's pronounced Kamehameha.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it was always pronounced until, like, the way that it's pronounced during the charge up made it people pronounce it differently.
Yeah. That's it, because it was named after, like, a Hawaiian king, or something like King Kamehameha.
Yeah, I remember it was Kamehameha. And that was, like, an answer to something on like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or something.
Yeah.
Mikey Buster says, "Call me your mama."
Yeah, that's essentially how it pronounces it. Well, it reminded me of
wild to
Phyllis.
me. It's still wild to me that Goku is in Fortnite. Like.
Yeah, like, Fortnite's more of a meme than a game at this point.
Yeah, and also they put Vegeta in there, and they removed his ass.
Why would they do that? That's like one of the biggest main personality traits.
Yeah. Can't believe it.
He has a dump truck app and he hates Goku. That is his personality.
Yeah. Oh, I was also hearing this morning TFS's review of Dragon Ball Superhero.
Right.
And Like, apparently there's a B plot where, like... So it's not really, like, relevant to the main plot, which is weird because Goku is the B plot. But him and Vegeta are just, like, fighting, and at the end... and they're doing it in base form, so, like, no Ultra Instinct or Ultra Ego or any of the Super Saiyans. But, like, yeah, they're doing it in base form, but, like, at the end, Vegeta, like, knocks Goku out, and he's like, yes! I finally did it! And it's like, when you think about it, Vegeta and Goku have fought 3 times, including this one. They fought in the Saiyan saga, they have fought in the Buu saga, and they have fought now in the most recent movie. Vegeta has won all of those fights.
I mean, could you really say he won the first one, or was it more of like a kind of a stalemate?
No. Fucking after he, like, Goku was able to repel the Gallic Gun, but Vegeta was still really powerful, and then he turned into a monkey and kicked Goku's ass and, like, crippled him. And then it took the collective effort of everyone to try and, like, defeat him.
Yeah, so he won all, like, the solo fights, but when it's multiple on, but then with that one it was multiple on one, which made him lose.
Yeah, and then in the second one, it's... Goku probably could have won just because of the Super Saiyan 3 Arspel. But Vegeta went for, like, a cheap shot to knock Goku out, so he could go and sacrifice himself against Majin Buu.
Well, maybe that's what he means. Maybe he doesn't count the first 2 since they're not proper victories.
Yeah, I mean, the
first one,
he definitely beat Goku in the Saiyan saga, like, without a doubt.
The thing is, like, maybe he, like, since everyone else came in and, like, teamed up on him to finish him off, maybe he doesn't count that as, like, properly winning against just Goku. And then the second one, he was possessed by the Margin thing, and it was a cheap shot to knock Goku out, so we wouldn't count that one either.
Yeah, it's fair that, like, the second fight is, but, like, when the others came into the fight, like, Goku was very soundly defeated by Vegeta.
Yeah.
Like, the final parts of the fight, the only input Goku actually had was, like, giving the Spirit Bomb energy to Krillin, and then, making Gohan calm down after he turned into a monkey.
Yeah. I need to rewatch Dragon Ball Abridged.
Yeah. It was good.
I've seen it since it ended.
They're still making content in the same vein of that. They just, like, they can't really abridge it anymore. They can't abridge the actual show, so they're, like, making Dragon shorts and all that.
Yeah. Cause I think one of the main reasons they stopped is because they just got burnt out with the series.
Yeah. Ah, interesting. Mikey's saying Saiyan Saga Vegeta wouldn't have counted anything less than a fatality as a victory. That's very... Yeah, because that's probably true.
Yeah, I was going to say, because the first one he didn't get to, like, do a finishing blow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess it would be a stalemate.
Yeah.
It's all about your point of view. So what I told you was true, from a certain point of view.
Yeah.
Yes, it's true, from a certain point of view.
That's from Robot Chicken, isn't it?
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't actually seen the whole thing, but I have seen, like, parts of it. And I love that song.
Yeah, because there's my favourite bit from the Emperor when he's going up that escalator because he doesn't want to get into the lift to fish people.
Because he's space racist.
I mean, he's essentially Space Hitler, so...
Yeah. Hello, I'm Space Napo Hitler.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Space Napoleon Hitler. Give me the thing.
Now kill his kid.
Give me the thing. Fine. Not a kid. I love the bit where they fly off and just goes, "What the space fuck?"
Oh, there's so many good things from that. I wonder if they can't do like an abridging of. Yeah, this is very speculative. Like, honestly, if someone wants to abridge like the Boo Saga, they should do it and not Team Forster who don't want to.
Yeah.
But like, you could probably make a good like Kai episode out of that.
Yeah, like to be fair, like if the Boo series ever does get abridged, what I see happening is like a third party does it with Team 4-Star's blessing.
I mean, Team 4-Star have basically given their blessing. It's just like, hey, we're not the guys who decide that. This is a non-profit fan-based parody.
Yeah. Because Dragon Ball Abridged and Hellsing Abridged are really the only two shows that the only two abridged shows that they had, and those are both finished now.
Yeah, they also made the Final Fantasy one that I haven't seen.
Oh yeah, that one. I don't know if they finished that one though, or whether they just stopped doing it.
It required a lot of like original animation, I believe. So maybe.
Yeah, because they had to like get game footage and then kind of edit over that. As I say, because the guy that makes Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, he also made like a small Naruto one a while ago.
Yeah, I saw that and I really hated it.
I liked it when I was like younger, because I used to watch this guy who did like Gmod Sonic animations, and actually no, he did like basically his I think his name used to be Jiggly Master, and now his name on YouTube at the moment is The Puffster. Because he did like the scene from episode of Bardock Abridged where Bardock wakes up in the past. And it has Shadow as Bardock, Tails as Dre, and classic Tails as Tupac.
What?
You know in episode of Bardock Abridged, the like past Saiyans all have rapper names.
Oh.
They all sound like Kermit the Frog. It's like we found you unconscious and near death in a valley not too far from here. We helped nurse you back to health with our magic healing spooge. Ugh, super polymorphic unleashing gel. Yeah, they dubbed like that. Yeah, they dubbed that scene up to the bit where Bardock tells the both of them how he's gonna violently murder them, and he just goes, "To hear that, Tupac? He made a friend."
I saw on Pinterest like a while back, someone made this like, someone drew an approximation of a scene from Bardock. Fuck! Oh my god! How did I die to that? That's like fucking baby mode. What the hell? Okay, never mind. Okay, sorry. What was I saying? Yeah, okay. Thing on Pinterest where it had like super shadow and...
Yeah.
God damn it, the controls just flubbed! What the hell? Okay, sorry. I'm getting angry and that's not right. Sorry, just like... Oh my god, I had a hitless run and then the fucking controls just stopped working. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
The guy that made these videos I was talking about, he did that scene of episode of Bardock because like with the Sonic models, and he also did like a compilation of animated video of like basically he got like a compilation of different animations he made using Team Fortress 2 and Sonic characters and a couple Resident Evil ones. And he took audio from another YouTuber called Marduk, who did like voiceover content, as well as like a bunch of other stuff. And he made animations for it. And one of them, the animations was Naruto Abridged, where Tails was Naruto, Amy was Sakura, Shadow was Sasuke, and Chris Redfield from Resident Evil 5 was Kakashi. Because my favourite thing about Naruto Abridged is that Kakashi was just David Bowie.
Maybe I should go on controller blame. No, but that's the thing. Sometimes the controller will just suddenly short out, and then, like, I didn't have this one. I don't think I had this problem on the like keyboard that I got, but that keyboard's like super loud, so I only use it like. I'll probably use it at some point when I learn how to, like, get on mic. Sorry, I'm sounding like I'm coping. I'm not coping. I did die twice in this stream, actually. Oh no, this really does sound like coping. Once on this run, 2 bad controllers, because sometimes the game will just not register me stopping the thing. And I don't know how to fix it, because, like, at first I thought it was because, like, I was pressing the touchpad at the same time, but that's very clearly not what's happening, because my touchpad has stopped working for quite a while, and I still get the same error. And I should definitely see someone about the touchpad, but, like, I still have, like, a load of shit to do. And I don't want to...
I mean, there is like a computer repair place near uni that fixed my laptop the first time it broke. And I got a couple of things from there recently. Probably have a look at them, see if they know anything about it.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, I'll DM you what the shop's called, just so we know docs.
Oh, I thought I bombed that. Sorry. Yeah, okay, I'll give that a look.
Yeah, like I was saying, the animation, but because there's the scene where Kashi Bowie tries to do that scene from Labyrinth where they start singing Dance Magic Dance.
I'll give that a look.
And then,
okay, this run is actually shaping up to be pretty good. Even with the death.
Yeah. But yeah, like I was saying, there's that, like, they try and do that scene from Labyrinth where they start singing Dance Magic Dance, and
I love
Naruto
that.
keeps saying the wrong thing.
I love that scene.
Yeah.
With the
you
remind me of the babe. What babe?
Yeah,
the
they try and do
with
that
the power.
instead of
what power? The power of voodoo. Voodoo? You do. I do what? You remind me of the babe. I love that scene. I love David Bowie.
Yeah, because
which, you know, sorry, you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of saying what power in voodoo, he just keeps saying what babe. Because he's only interested in, like, the woman who just goes like, Naruto, you remind me of the babe. What babe with the power? What babe? The power of voodoo. What babe? Naruto, have you ever seen Labyrinth? Can't say that I have, Bowie Sama Senpai Sensei Sensei. What the fuck is wrong with you? Good.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Because that's like probably it's the most obscure impression that I can do really well. Is Naruto Abridged Kakashi or / David Bowie.
Welcome to the niche corner.
Yeah. Because there's another bit which it has like a slur in it that wasn't really considered a slur back then. It's like over 10 years old at this point. It was like 2009, I think.
I can't believe Naruto said the N-word.
It was like it was Kakashi. Like he wakes up from a nightmare and just goes, "Oh, I just had a dream that I wasn't David Bowie and I was training a group of R-word ninjas. Check it out, Bowie Sensei. I can see all that." Starts doing it.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
well, at least I'm still David Bowie.
God, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I don't flop this, I should be able to get pretty good.
Yeah, because I remember there was that other scene where Naruto fanboys over the rower. Like the guy with the rowing boat. Oh man.
Okay, that's fine. I still have 4 lives. If I don't flop
It's
this...
just doing good.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
David Bowie.
He was singing like he was singing one of Bowie's songs when they were going across like a riverboat or something. He's just like, "So you guys new around here or what?" "Oh, you are the rower! Sing the rowing song!" Because in the video was called Magiculosity. There's 3 of them, and I mean, looking back on it, it does have like some problematic elements. Like they turn Silver the Hedgehog into like a very fruity gay.
Silver is a twink, to be fair.
Yeah, but like they gave him like a really like a stereotypically homosexual voice to make him obsessed with bananas.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, so it does have like problematic elements, but it is like looking back on it, I liked it back then, and there are still elements of it that are not bad now.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. Part of, like, media literacy is, learning to appreciate parts of media that you find problematic and learning to criticize media that you really like.
Mm. It's like that's the thing with a lot, because like you know how much of a fan of westerns I am. It's because most of them were in like the 60s and 70s. A lot of the time they have very racist depictions of like Native Americans.
Okay, I have to...
You know, like back then they had the whole idea of like the Native Americans being the very wrong idea of Native Americans being savages to like raid camps and kill people.
People still use like the term Indians to refer to Native Americans.
Yeah.
Like freaking Adrian.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. But like...
Yeah, like, I remember I was at my granddad's, I think it was just after I'd started working. Yeah, he was watching a channel with a bunch of old things on. And one of them was this really old series of short films called Maverick. And
Did I
like,
just time
we watched
that out?
that, and I was like, yeah, this is very... Oh, shit.
Sorry,
Yeah, we
I
watched
just...
that. And,
I just survived a spell card, and I don't know whether or not it's because I timed it out, or whether or not I actually brought down her health bar.
Yeah.
Mikey, can we get a call on that? Okay, maybe not. But like, why am I saying that? He fucking sorry, my brain is... Yeah, I wasn't looking. Can you do it again? I'll just watch
Do it again, I wasn't looking!
Play the clip, Johnny. Okay.
Yeah, because,
Yeah, sorry, you were saying?
But yeah, I was gonna say, because we were watching that, and I was watching that just thinking, this film or this series, whatever, this is very racist against Native American people.
Oh no. Yeah. I just died in a really cheap way. Oh my god.
Shit.
I'm not surviving this as much as I want to. Okay. I might be able to get it pretty far though. Okay, so yeah, racist movie.
There you go. Yeah, so, what was I saying? But that was it. It was, no mind. Oh, again. That was it. It was, about that, Magic Philosophy video you watched. So, one of the bits was, Sonic and Shadow talking about the fights that they've had. And he just goes like, well, I mean, none of them have been weird. Like, what about that one on Prison Island? Yep, you're right. I can't think of anything that could have been possibly wrong with that fight. Hands back to it, and it's the bit from Sonic X where they're, like, kicking at each other.
Wait. Wait, I don't get it.
So basically, you know that, from Sonic, when Sonic fights Shadow on Prison Island in Sonic X, there's that bit where they, collide with each other in midair, hit the ground. Yeah, and they keep trying to kick each other, but they keep kicking the other person's foot because it's like perfectly coordinated and like perfectly mirrored.
Oh, they're doing footsies.
Yeah, that. So it goes back. It pans to that, and it pans to, and instead of the normal music, it puts them singing the can over it. Yeah, does that? It just goes. Oh yeah, except for the part of that fight where we were dancing like idiots.
That's pretty fun.
There's another bit where Sonic's kind of like coming attacking through the air towards where like Shadow's standing, and he just goes, "Okay, remember what you learned at anger management school. Start a positive conversation." Kind of turns over like, "Hi, buddy, what are you?" Sonic starts laughing. Oh, what's up, goddamn? I mean, what's funny, mate? I want to laugh with you, but it's like, it's nothing. You've never been nice to anyone ever before. Oh, really? Well, I'm turning over a new leaf. Flips a leaf over. All right, now that's done. Fuck you.
That's pretty fun. What was? Oh, I was about to. Oh yeah, sorry. We've made it up to the Dio made, which is
the JoJo.
Yeah, the first of the JoJo references. So we're on pretty good pace with like my current personal best. I say pace like this is a fucking speed run.
Yeah.
I've been watching too much Summoning Soul.
Yeah.
In fairness, I do get a lot of inspiration from like how many times Arcus played Ninja Gaiden. When I'm thinking about like how much time is going into this, I'm like, come on. Arcus did like 2 solid years of time. You can do this. And it's true, I can do this.
Yeah.
Because when you try, you can do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Toot Sonic Warrior.
Yeah, because what's the thing? Like, I don't know how many of these there are, but I think like Sonic speedrun pretty cool because those games can be kind of glitchy, but you can use them to your advantage. Like in Adventure 2, when you get the bounce bracelet with Sonic, there's a thing you can do where if you spin dash towards a wall and then jump and bounce as you hit the wall, something funky happens in the physics and it rockets you upwards in the sky.
Yeah, I remember I never actually finished the... Oh, come on! Oh, I thought...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, finish your thought. I'm gonna... After that, I'm gonna walk away for a while I am gonna do
Yeah.
rage quit any percent. I'm not. I'm just gonna have a stretch and get hydrated.
Yeah.
But like,
Probably gonna go
yeah,
get a
finish
drink.
your thought about that.
Yeah, you can probably like. I think I've seen people use like that spin dash jump and stuff like that to get ahead and get really good times in Sonic games.
Hmm.
Because there's this thing that you have to do in Metal Harbor, which I cannot do the life of me because you can get balls that glitch, but you need. But the wall is a really short distance in front of you, so you don't really have enough time to react fully. Basically, what you have to do is you have to kind of skip part of the. It's the bit where you're running around the spiral thing up to the
Yes.
rocket, because there's two places you can jump
Getting
onto
to the
it.
top of that
There's
is
the one
really
that kind of
hard.
guides the wall. Yeah, like because what you do is you need to cut a bit out of it. But then what always happens with me is he always hits the wall and falls over instead of like hitting the dash pad and going up like he's supposed to.
Hmm.
I've always been really shit at doing that, which is why I think my current rank on Metal Harbor is a D.
Oh wow. I've
Yeah.
okay. I'm one up on you then,
Which is
because I have Green Hill Zone.
oh right.
I think I remember messaging you about that as well. Back at Christmas
I
time.
don't know if I have. But I think of yeah. I don't know. I can't remember if I have, but I think I have all the Chow emblems.
Oh yeah, I mean you would.
Yeah, like A ranking. Yeah, as I say, A ranking is what's going to kill me because I'm not good at A ranking shit.
I have done all of the A ranking. There are some stages, mostly like the later, like the last Eggman and Tails stages, and also a good chunk of the Knuckles and Rouge stages, which like I fucking hate.
Yeah.
I fucking hate so much. And like if I had to do it again, I would probably eat my controller, which I almost did when I was trying to do Eggman's last stage.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I manage to do it, I'm backing it up onto like 6 different hard drives immediately. I'm not losing that progress.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna leave you guys with this amazing music, and I'm gonna come back in like what 10-15 minutes. You have
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a drink.
yeah. Ah. Ooh. Ah. Oh, okay.
Hey.
Okay. I'm back.
You going?
Hey. Professor Farnsworth, now. Perfectly symmetrical violence never sold anything. Sorry, I'm just reading Mikey's messages back. If
Yeah,
you do
I saw that one earlier. Just don't know who it is.
If you
Oh,
do
it's from Futurama.
Futurama. Is Professor Farnsworth the
Yeah.
good news, everybody? Is that the guy?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And then he says, if you do eat your controller, please film it. And then, alright, you'll have a good rest of the stream. Oh, sorry. I just burped. Very unprofessional. Ah. Okay, so I've died close to the end of this fight. This run probably gets as far, if not further, than my best run. Should I try and continue it just so I can, like, practice on Remelia? The final boss?
Yeah, that could be some good content.
I don't know about, like, good content, but, like... Okay. Killing Doll. I've played a good chunk of... I've played a good chunk of, Perfect Cherry Blossom, the game that comes after this one. And
Right.
Sakuya is a playable character in that one.
Oh, yeah, I think you said that.
Yeah, and one of her special attacks, because they have two after this, one of her special attacks is called Killing Doll, and that's really cool.
Killing Door or Killing Doll?
Killing Doll. Yeah.
Right.
And it's not the same attack because, like, she's a player and not a boss, but, like,
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
As I say, I think Virgil from Devil May Cry is like the only playable boss character that's as strong when you play as him as when you fight him, if
Yeah.
not stronger.
I mean, with Touhou, all of the bosses take, like, minutes to beat, and you, as a player, die in one hit, so you can't really do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Sakuya comes back at the end. She comes back because she is the MVP. Bad bitch. We love her.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a reason why she's the most popular Touhou character. And it's because she is, like...
And it's not just because of
Yeah, she's very good at her job.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
And
remember
then...
seeing like a 60-minute melee of Sakuya versus Dio. I think Sakuya actually won that.
Oh, that makes sense. She has more, like, absolute time powers than Dio does. I remember
because
in...
Dio's... Yeah, because Dio didn't really get to fully, like, learn what his... I mean, he didn't get, like, a full mastery of it before the end of part 3.
Yeah, because he was getting stronger. I think it was, like, supposed to be because of his vampire biology that, like, he was able to do the time stop. Like, he was able to keep on getting better at it. But Jotaro was still, like, limited.
Yeah, like, he kept making it... Yeah, like, he was... I think he was able to go faster than Jotaro as well, because, like, he even says in the fight, like, at first I was only able to stop time for a mere fraction of a second. But...
Hmm? Dante? Dante? Oh no.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
I can now. You
There we go.
your audio
cut out
kind
again.
of yeah. But it should be. It's fine now, I think. Fuck.
Yeah, I think it's right now.
It's as fine as this isn't.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think it's spoiler for part 3. He gets stronger from drinking Joseph's blood, so that gives his time stuff a boost as well.
Yeah. Okay. There's an attack. There's a non-spell attack. I think after this one, after the next spell card, there's a non-spell where she instantly throws out a load of knives, and it's not this one. This is a spell, but this one, I believe, she throws out a load of knives, and that's if you're going to the top to get the points that she drops, you will just get iced by those.
Yeah.
It feels like a deliberate thing to be no. You think that you can use the rules that you've been using up until this point? No. I'm a fucking vampire, bitch.
I'm a vampire, but you think the rules apply to me?
Yeah, the only other vampire is her sister, and she's the strongest character in the entire lore, I think. There's a fighting game that recently came out because Touhou has official fighting games, and they're not even fan made.
I think there's an engine that you can use to make fighting games called Mugen. I was gonna say it's not that.
It's not that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it's not.
Actually, do you know what that reminds me of? Sorry to interrupt, but there was this Flash game we used to play all the fucking time called Bleach vs. Naruto.
Bleach vs. Naruto. What a title.
Yeah, it was literally just a fighting game where you played Bleach characters and Naruto characters and kicked the shit out of each other. Because, I mean, obviously I main dual Fiore. He's my favourite character.
That's not Urahara, so I don't know who that is.
He's, yeah, he probably would. If you don't know Bleach, you won't know who he is, because he really only appears
I know Watermelon Hat and no others.
Around Karak. Yeah. I mean, Urahara's my second favourite character, and, the game was... I think the game was discontinued, and they stopped making updates for it. Do you mind me spoiling Bleach?
No. I get that,
Because,
you really like Bleach, but also, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, to be fair, Bleach has its fans and it has its haters. It's one of those, it's the Marmite of the big three. You either love it or you hate it. But yeah,
although I do really like the design of Bleachigo.
Yeah.
I don't get up at
which
the
one?
right...
Which one here?
Sorry?
Which design? Do you mean all of them? Because he has a shit ton of designs.
Oh, I thought it was all just one. Apart
so,
from when he's in
he has
casual clothes.
It's kind of hard to explain. So basically, he has his main design up for most of the story. So he has his Shikai outfit, then he has his Bankai outfit. But he turns it into a kind of a trench coat thingy. And then, so he has that for most of the series where it gets a slight alteration when he fights Aizen for the final time and he gets his Jangai power up.
Oh yeah, he gets weird...
Yeah, where where he spends 3 months in frozen time gets longer hair, and
Wait, is that what
his
happens?
sword, like,
Does he literally just...
yeah, basically, like,
Did he just stops time and then gets more powerful than Aizen?
it's not just that. His basically what happens is basically Aizen goes back to the soul world after he like knows that he's been distracted by a fake town in the real world. Because that's what they do when they find out that he's going to invade Ichigo's hometown. They just swap it out for a fake one that they built in Soul Society and just put the real Karakura town and everyone in it to sleep and just move it to Soul Society until the fighting's done.
That is pretty clever. Like,
yeah. I mean, overall, the war where it happened was very poorly thought out. It was everyone made a lot of weird decisions, but basically, to do that, Aizen goes back there, and then when Ichigo and his dad are following him back through a different method, I can't remember the name of the place they go through. It's like the place they go through the first time, like the Purple Realm. Yeah, because the first time they go through it, they get chased by this big cleaner thing. And then Aizen goes through it as well because he can't use the normal method to get back anymore. He encounters that cleaner thing and fucking kills it. And then Ichigo and his dad run through. They're very confused as to why it's not there, and then they realize, oh yeah, Aizen killed it. So Ichigo's dad pulls out like a MacGuffin thing, basically throws out a bunch of chains into himself and the wall around him, and basically creates a space in that like world between worlds where time stops for about 3 months.
And that's when
Ichigo
he gets stronger.
Yeah, that's when he goes through his training arc. Yeah, that's when he goes through his training arc and gets strong enough to be Aizen. And when he does that, he gets a slight design change. Like his hair gets slightly longer, one of his sleeves gets like torn off, and his sword changes slightly as well. It fuses with his hand, and the guard like spreads out a bit.
Yeah, I remember hearing that around his arm. I remember hearing that like that was Aizen's shtick, that his like he had gotten so like powerful with his sword that his sword was like just part of his body.
Yeah, it fused to his hand. And then unfused after he lost, but then, yeah, that's another story. Yeah, so then that was the first design change. And doing that, Ichigo used all of his powers for a final against Gotenshou. And he loses his powers there. Then he has like a design when he's a Fullbringer trying to get him back. And then he has a third design where the Shinigami and Fullbringer powers combine, where he gets a new Shikai and a new Bankai. Then the Quincy's come in, fuck everything up, and break his sword. And he gets a bunch of other design changes where he gets his final one in the last arc. But as well as that, there's in the Huecamundo arc, there's also his Master Lorde form.
Oh, yeah, because he does have a few different...
Have you seen that one?
Nah, I just know his like basic design. I really like that design.
Oh, right.
And it's like...
Yeah, because they used it as well.
Because there was a while back where I was watching the Rust Bucket streams, like OR Ash and the Fusion Lab, and they had they were testing out this weird like representation of chat where like everyone was some kind of like avatar, and they would say things, and the like avatar would say things, and I picked Ichigo with pink hair, and I thought that he looked very cool.
Right.
Ooh, I just got a ping on Discord. Who could that be? Oh, by the way...
Ichigo.
Hmm? Oh, okay. I can't see that. But I will look at it.
Yeah. Because he really only uses it, never uses it. Okay. He, because that design is peak.
What?
Yeah, carry on.
No, I can't see it.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I can't look at it. I'm playing the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I will look at it later. I can't right now.
Yeah, because then you think of like, oh, look, like this one. It's the Ultimate character. Yeah, there we go. Honestly, like the designs in Bleach. Hello.
Hey.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know whether my audio cut out again.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in the college I wrote an essay about character design. And one of the characters I used as an example was Ulquiorra because of his use of colour scheme.
Okay.
The other one was because like the three aspects I used when determining a character design in that essay were colour scheme, background, like where they came from, what they've been through, whether that affects their design, and shape theory.
Yeah. That does make a lot of sense. Because, like, you can tell a lot about someone from, like, just, like, a scar or, like, the way that they're dressed. But, like, they...
Yeah, like, for the colour scheme I used Ulquiorra.
What the shit?
For the... For the shape theory, I used two characters. I used Toguro and Takeo Goda from Monogatari. That's like comparisons because they're both like good, but they shape theory is very different. So yeah, and then the background one, for an example, I used Abdul Jojo.
Yeah, because he's a fortune teller.
Yeah, he's also Egyptian.
Yeah.
Which is like
Okay. Well, by the way, I didn't talk to you about friggin' Mega Man X.
oh yeah, Mega Man X.
Because I just beat that, and I did let you know.
Finished it, didn't you?
Yeah, but
Yeah, you did say because
like Sigma's just
you
a
made
bad.
a joke about Sigma's true weakness.
Yeah, because Sigma's just a horrible dog owner. He's just like, I'll let
Yeah,
my
his weakness
pet
is
finish
pizza.
you off. And it's just like, no, be nicer to your dog.
Yeah, like
You're putting him in harm's way. It's not right.
I think
I bet that dog didn't get resurrected. Unless he did.
No, I think his name was Velgarder. But yeah, he only appears in Mega Man X. He doesn't appear in any of the other ones. my knowledge.
Can't believe it. Zero gets resurrected, Sigma gets resurrected, but Iris and the dog don't get resurrected. Can't believe it. Does X ever get resurrected?
I don't think he ever dies.
Yeah, I wasn't assuming
He's not on the
that.
On the X series anyway. Yeah.
But like,
Maybe
if
that's
he
one
did die, he would have to get resurrected. Because like,
Oh yeah,
I think like,
the series is about him.
It's about him and the one guy that he came from.
Yeah. Because we got someone else in stream, by the way.
Oh, nice. I'll take a look at what they are saying.
Am I saying that right? They've just said hi so far.
Hello, my G.
I think I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but I think the name's pronounced Rievg or Rievg.
Well, welcome to the stream. Rievg, yeah. I'm about to kick this Chinese girl's ass.
Ah.
Fuck.
Okay. Yeah, like I was saying, I mean,
we're not off to a good start. Sorry.
Nah, we're not. But minus spoilers for the Zero series, but X does make a couple appearances in those games, so he can't really die in the X. He can't really He can't really die in the X games.
Although I remember playing like a series of versus games. Actually, that's not what they were.
Yeah.
They were like this weird RPG-esque thing.
Yeah.
I'll have to try and remember what it was. I played like a series of fan games, or no, it was one fan game.
Mega Man X characters in it.
It was a Mega Man X fan game, and in it you could do like RPG shit.
Was it 3D or was it like a Flash game?
It was a Flash game.
Ah, yeah. As I say, because there was actually a Mega Man X RPG called Command Mission.
Oh, I did not know that.
And in that one, Zero has like this ultimate form where he has like bat wings and shit.
Oh.
And that's called Absolute Zero.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. As I say, like I can't remember when it was made. I don't know whether it was made before or after XA. If it was made after, it was the last X game like they ever made. Which of course means it isn't fucking canon.
Yeah. Okay, we're going into stage 4 with 5 lives. That's not that bad. Just as long as I don't fuck things up here, it should be fine. And we should at least get to stage 5.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, it came out like I think 6 or 8 months before Mega Man X8. So yeah, it wasn't the last one. It was the penultimate Mega Man game. Penultimate Mega Man X. Fuck. The penultimate Mega Man X game.
Yeah. At this point, like, I'm kind of okay with Capcom not using it because, like, if they did, it probably wouldn't be that great. And it's like,
I mean, they kind of left the last one on a cliffhanger, so I do really want an X9 just to round things off.
That's fair. That's very fair. Oh yeah, because Sigma actually...
Like, even if it's fan-made, I just want... Yeah.
Oh yeah, I definitely want, like, more fan creations, because, like... I think mainly because, like, that was my first experience with Mega Man X, and Mega Man in general is, like, a load of fan games on Newgrounds.
Yeah.
And, like, I guess I just don't...
Yeah.
Fuck!
Newgrounds is, like, a haven of the internet. Oh, shit.
Okay, it's fine. But yeah, like, I think that fans can do a lot with the story, and like, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I don't even. It doesn't even have to be like a game of Mega Man X9. I just want that story to be like continued and concluded.
Maybe they could make like a manga or something.
Because I told you about like how X8 ends, didn't I?
I've a little bit forgot, but the general thing that I remembered is like there was a new villain and Sigma got axed.
Yeah, Lunatic. Yeah, Sigma's finally like permanently dead. And they tried to replace him with like Lunatic, who I really want to be like the new villain going forward if they do go forward with like new stories involving Mega Man. And because like Sigma just had like plans for world domination or some shit. Luminat's goal is actually the advancement and evolution of Reploids through forcibly like genociding the older ones.
Oh, that's dark.
Yeah,
and actually sounds like something that could be like a thing.
I mean, I might be remembering it wrong, but they say he essentially says like the future belongs to the new generation of Reploids. You older models don't have a place in our new future. And they say, and he says line up to be exterminated.
Oh no!
I don't know whether that means he's going to genocide all the older generation Reploids, or whether that's just a thing of him saying like, "Come here so I can kill you."
I mean, either way, it's not great.
Yeah.
And
like, that's the thing is that Lumen only got like 10 minutes of being a villain before the series was finished.
Oh no!
And
I
really want him to. Oh shit!
Sorry.
Yeah, I really want Luminae to have like more screen time as a villain.
Yeah, he sounds really terrifying.
Yeah, because throughout most of the game, he's the damsel in distress that gets taken up to Sigma's like moon base. But then it reveals that he went there to orchestrate everything. Like he went there willingly and pretended to be captured so he could orchestrate everything. Yeah, hopefully, because they kind of imply that Luminae, in his dying breath, possesses Axel. Which I hope they go through it, because that'll be interesting, and then he'll be able to, like, jump from different characters and, like, possess them, kind of like, who's the other characters that did that? That, like, possessed people whenever they died. Like, they'd kill their main body, and then, it's like, their ghost would just go off and possess someone else.
I feel like that's happened a few times in fiction, but I don't know enough about Mega Man.
I was gonna say, it wasn't in just in Mega Man, but like, I think it was Starscream that did that in Transformers. I think there was a couple of times where, yeah, like after he dies in the 1987 animated film,
he's like immortal.
Like 2 seasons, in like the 2 seasons that happened after that film. I think there was a couple of instances where Starscream's like spark kind of got disembodied and lived on and went to possess other robots.
Yeah, because like the whole shtick with Starscream that I remember from Death Battle was like that he couldn't actually die, but he could meet a fate worse than death.
Yeah, because I was gonna say because he fights Rainbow Dash, doesn't he?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, because that was like early Death Battle. Because
that was when they might have had some credibility left.
Yep.
Okay, we're going into stage 5 with 2 lives and 3 bombs, which is pretty good.
Yeah. Because what was I saying? Yeah, because I remember that fight ended with Starscream's body being destroyed, him kind of like taunting Rainbow Dash as like a ghost for a bit, and then she just fucking falls as ghost.
Yeah.
Because that happens a couple of times. Because do you know Transformers Energon?
Yes, I do. Regrettably.
Yeah, because I was gonna say it wasn't a great series, but
it was my main exposure to Transformers when I was a kid. So I'm unfortunately very familiar with.
Yeah. I was incredibly lucky because my uncle has all the like VHS tapes from the original series, which he let me watch, which is how I got into it.
Oh no. I'm bombing a lot on this one.
Ah, shit. Yeah.
But it's okay,
Yeah,
because I still have lives, and lives are more important than
Yeah.
bombs.
Yeah.
That ended up sounding like a political statement.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, like a good political statement, but... Lives
Yeah,
are more
right, what
important
was I
than bombs. And medicine is more important than war crimes.
Yeah.
More medicine, less terrible things.
Yeah. More medicine, less politicians.
More medicine and less fucking jackasses.
Yeah. Because they're more the
I know that there are good politicians, it's just that they're not the ones that actually win.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, even the leadership of Labour Party is, like, severely damaged by, like, Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah, like... Honestly, British politics are just a shit show.
Oh, hey, I'm getting close to my high score.
Nice. Yeah, what's it saying?
Okay, I can still beat
I'll
her.
say something else for what it was. Because we've always said, lives are more important than bombs. It was just for that. I was talking about something, I can't remember what it was.
We were talking about Transformers.
That was it, because in Energon, something similar happens where Starscream, like, at the start of Energon, because it leads on from Armada, because Starscream dies in Armada, and he has like this really well done death scene, where it's like really well animated. The voice, it's really well scored, but like the voice acting could be a bit better, but that's just English dubs for you.
Oh yeah, because that one was originally in Japanese, wasn't it?
I think all the Transformers series were originally in Japanese.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
And then they just got more famous when they put them in English.
And then Michael Bay showed up.
Yep. I'm glad he's not attached to them anymore.
Oh, is he not?
Because like we've had one Transformer. No,
That's
you
very...
know Bumblebee. Yeah, that was done
yeah?
by the same director as Kubo. Yeah, that was done by the same director as Kubo and the Two Strings. He got fired after Transformers 5 did the ship.
Huh.
It's been like almost 5 years since Bumblebee, and we haven't had another Transformers film.
Yeah, I haven't... I've heard a lot of really good things about it, but I haven't, like, actually seen it.
It's what... The way I describe it is it's what the Transformers films should have been from the start.
Oh, bad.
Yeah.
Ah. I have defeated
Like I was
Sakia.
saying,
That is the first time that I have defeated
Nice.
Sakia in a Lunatic run without continues. So I'm happy. I don't know what number attempt that was.
And you got a new high score.
Yeah. I mean, that's mainly virtue of the fact that I've survived slightly longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because yeah, like the thing when it leads on from Armada, because he dies in Armada, and then comes back as a ghost in Transformers Energon. And he's a ghost for like half of it until they all I can't remember what happens. They get exposed to like a dying Energon star supernova or something.
And does that like bring him back?
And stuff. And instead of getting that with stuff, yeah, I was gonna say with Starscream, instead of getting an upgrade or stuff, he just goes from being a ghost to having his like tangible body back. Because I used to have a Starscream Energon toy, but I don't have it anymore. I gave it to my friend.
Okay. I am going to completely ignore actual strategies for this fight so that I can say that I got up to Remelia in this run.
Yeah.
Although, maybe I should just do that in general. Because, like, I might be wasting my bombs, but I am saving my lives. Although, no, I can still dodge the attacks.
What do you have left?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But, like, hey, this is way further than I've ever got. And this is, like, nearing the end of the game. I definitely won't be able to defeat her with 0 lives and 2 bombs, but still.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if I don't immediately eat shit and die. I immediately ate shit and died.
Well, not immediately.
No, it was a few seconds.
You lasted. As I say, you lasted for a decent amount of time. So.
Yeah, I could have bombed that, and then I could have maybe gotten past her first health bar. But like, the big thing is going to be her final attack, because you can't really bomb on that one because she turns into a bat and dodges everything. But yeah, gosh. I think... Should I take another break? Dante?
Hello?
Hey.
There you go. Yeah,
Should I take another... Yeah, it's been like... half an hour.
You got past 2 hours. So.
Yeah. I'll hop off and then go for another few, like, attempts.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do some extra mode attempts.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, I'm just really proud of this. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, it's a good run.
And to think, I was starting off this session by saying, oh, it's a bad session, oh, my luck is terrible. But no, we actually got pretty far. Okay. I'm gonna hop off for like, I don't know, 10 minutes. What? Audience, go have a stretch. Whoa. Ooh. Okay. And I'm back.
There we go.
It was a little bit of a short break, but still, it was nice. Ah.
Done.
I'm coming back to uni on the 2nd of September. Wait.
Alright.
I was going to say something.
I think I'm still going to be at work. Yeah, I think I'm still going to be at work on the 2nd of September, but that'll probably be like my last day or my second to last day.
I was going to say something else to you before this, and I forgot what it was. Oh well.
We were talking about Dragon Ball.
You were talking about Dragon Ball.
And I just saw this tweet from so basically I was just going through Twitter while we were on break, and the guy that does Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, he retweeted an article saying that I can't remember what it was exactly, but Dragon Ball Super had broken some records.
Oh yeah, because it didn't perform super well in like Japanese markets, but it did perform very well in like American markets, I hear.
Yeah, like that's the thing, and just completely, I have no context for this whatsoever, but he the guy that made Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, he just retweeted that saying Bulma's ass did this.
Okay, yeah, there's a reason. Okay, without spoiling anything, there is a very specific reason for why he said that. That has to do with the movie.
I'm guessing there's a scene that focuses on Bulma's ass. Yeah. I'm guessing there's a scene that focuses on Bulma's ass.
Yes, but not in the way you expect.
Right.
Whatever the way you expect it to be, actually, you might expect it. Maybe you'll expect it. I feel like you wouldn't expect it. I don't think you have the guts to expect it. What do you expect, Dante? Fuck.
I don't know what to expect, because, like, with Dragon Ball, you don't really know what you could expect.
That's fair.
I remember in the original one, like, Roshi gets the power to shrink, like, out of nowhere so he can be a peeping Tom.
Yes, I remember that. That was pretty weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, although it wasn't out of nowhere, it was like an invention that Bulma had made, and she gave it to Master Roshi so he could, and then he creeped on her using it. But like,
I don't think it was her. I think it was. I don't think it was Bulma. I think it was Launch that he creeped on.
No, he did creep on. I remember this because like I really loved the original Dragon Ball series, and I watched through it a lot of times. Bulma had the device, and she gave it to Roshi for reasons, and then he used it to peep on her.
So I remember seeing the thing where he's tiny again, and he uses it to creep on Launch when she's taking a bath.
Ah, did that also happen?
That's what I remember.
Because I definitely remember, because like I even remember. Oh no. I even remember in like the abridged series, Roshi saying, "Yeah, I watched her poop. She knows what I'm about." But I don't remember the part with Launch. It probably happened. Like a lot of Roshi's stuff is like, "Oh, he's a sensei, but he's a pervert." Isn't that wacky? And it's like, it is a nice like. For the time, it is like a nice little comedic twist on the wise old mentor archetype, but like, even then it was like a bit tired.
Yeah, it's like, because I think Rumiko Takahashi did a similar thing with Ranma Ha.
Yeah, because he went off and spawned an archetype of his own.
Yeah.
Which
Because
is
there's like several characters that kind of fall into that perverted augment or
yeah, like Jiraiya from Naruto.
Yeah, like Jiraiya, the guy from Ranma. I think the guy that trained Mai Shiranui from King of Fighters or
Oh no, that's bad. That's really bad. She has her tits out all the time.
Yeah.
Oh no. Someone should do something about that guy.
Yeah, it's like that other Family Guy joke where it's like a cutaway where Peter's a gymnast being trained by the decent European guy who just shoots him in the arm in the middle of his gymnastics routine, like when he's at the Olympics.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he just gets shot out of nowhere, does the thing like perfectly still, even though he's like holding his arm. The guy comes, he's like, "You did it, Peter. Why the fuck did you shoot me? Because I'm weird goofy coach. Now come on, let me give you inappropriate personal shower while I smoke and forbid you to see parent." Just like picks him by the carry and he just goes, "Somebody should look into this sport."
Yeah. Hey, Lois, someone should look into this sport. Okay.
Hey, Lois, I think there's a lot of criminal activities that are being covered up by this thing. We should get TPS on this thing.
Oh yeah, gosh. I never want to. There's a lot of things that I never want to remember the like statistics about, which is very sad.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of that in like female gymnastics.
Yeah. There's a lot of in like women's sports in general.
Yeah. Now that's what I call patriarchy. 98.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, because the thing with the women's football team with those leaks, there was I can't remember when that was.
Oh yeah, didn't the women's football team for us just like fucking like they just did really well. They like won the whole thing of something, I think.
Yeah.
That's pretty
But
cool.
then there was like the leaks as well. Yeah, there was the leaks that kind of drew everyone's attention away from that.
Oh.
Did you know about that?
No. I just heard about it from like the newspaper that my parents have, and I was like, hey, that's pretty cool.
Like, but you know what? Yeah, like you know what actually got leaked?
Oh, fuck.
Do you know what actually got leaked though?
No, I don't.
Like, it was a bunch of their nude photos that got leaked.
What the shit? Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure they got taken down and, like, you have to go to really obscure places if you're sick enough to want to find them, but, yeah.
My god damn. That's...
I can't remember if they actually found out who leaked them or not.
Oh. Oh. What should I name this safe? This record?
Hmm.
I'm just gonna name it after you if you don't say anything.
We were talking about Transformers earlier. You know, something to do with that. Can you not hear me?
I
Yeah.
can hear you. Megatron.
Could you not hear?
I could hear you, don't worry. And that's why
Hello?
I... Hello? Hello? Hey. What the fuck? Are you talking right now? Because I could hear you before, but I can't hear you now.
The cord like cut out and rejoined for some reason.
That's weird. Anyway, yeah, you were saying Transformers, and I was like, hey, Megatron is 8 characters long.
Yeah. Because I remember them. So they released the like original design for Megatron that was changed because of a fan backlash, I think. For the Michael Bay films, and he had like a really weird face, which looked like something out of the Alien films.
Huh. That's pretty weird.
And someone was saying like as shit as Transformers 5 was, and despite them giving no explanation for him going back to Megatron from being Galvatron, like they still think that he had the best design out of the films.
Yeah. I only watched Transformers 1 and 2. I kind of like 1 just as like a nostalgia thing.
Yeah. I watched all of them, even though I don't like most of them. I think 1 and... I don't like any of them anymore, but 1... except Bumblebee. Like, excluding Bumblebee, 1 and 3 are the ones I can stomach the most.
Fudge! What the hell? Oh, I thought I had that.
Yeah, someone in that thread, they said that... I think something happened in the Headmaster Transformers series, where Galvatron goes into Super Megatron.
Super Megatron? Like a regular
Yeah, let me have a look
Megatron.
at that.
But... oh. But super! That's pretty dumb. I kind of like the concept, but I bet it would have been terrible.
Yeah, I've just got like I don't know if that's a picture. I've just got like a picture of him breaking out of some ice in the Arctic. Everything else is for toys.
Huh.
Yeah, because I just remembered I also had a Megatron toy, Energon, because...
Oh like, yeah, I think I still...
I'm sure Energon was. Megatron had a really cool design in that series.
Yeah, it was a bit bulky, but like...
Yeah, because there was...
all of the Transformers are.
Because he keeps dying at the end of each series. He, like, every single anime series, like, Armada Energon and Cybertron. He...
What? What's happening? Why oh shit? What the hell? I totally dodged that.
Yeah.
And that. I'm so angry. Hey, yeah, I can hear you. I've always been able to hear you.
Yeah, so... Is McCall like disconnected and reconnected about 6 times in a row.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, I think it's just my dad's Wi-Fi.
Oh. Sorry.
But yeah, I was gonna say like in those 3 series, the same things always happen. Like Megatron always turns into Galvatron, and he always dies at the end, then comes back in the next one.
Yeah, I can't, like, I remember, what was it? Yeah,
Like,
in Energon, instead of, like, doing something cool, he just goes into a pool of super Energon, which is a thing, and then says, Megatron was weak, so I killed him. Now I am Galvatron, without actually doing any character development.
Yeah, like
But I always do like
in Armada, he's like on the verge of death and gets turned into Galvatron by the Minicons to save his life, along with other people. Yeah. Sorry, he sounded like Basming.
Oh.
And I think the Wi-Fi's really fucking up at the moment because the past like 10 seconds, he kind of sounded like a YouTube poop.
Can I get some mim?
Yeah. In Armada, he gets rid. Yeah. I'm gonna close the Twitch. I might close Twitch because
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it's black. Yeah, bye. And just watch it on the phone.
Yeah. That's alright.
Yeah. But as I say, in Armada, he was like on the verge of death along with a bunch of other people, and the Minicons like resurrected him and gave him an upgrade to turn him into Galvatron. And did the same with a couple of other people. In Energon, he jumps into a pool of Super Energon and emerges purple.
Wait, is it
And
just
don't
a
quote me
planet
on this,
swap?
but I think in Cybertron, he just gets really angry until he turns into Galvatron.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna look better.
Fuck! I fucked it up! I just said don't fuck this up, and I fucked it up. That was the one thing I wasn't supposed to...
Ah, shit.
Yeah, it's fine. I already got a good run this session, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But I do like...
How did Megatron turn into
I do like the, like, purples of Galvatron. I do like that. Like, purple's just a really nice color.
There you go, Transformers. Every time Megatron became Galvatron.
Ah. That sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah. Actually, that's the other thing that happens in the 3D series around that time, is Unicron always comes in, which is why it's called the Unicron trilogy.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember that because I actually remember the red guy talking about Unicron in like an episode of Energon that I actually remember.
Yeah, every time Megatron became Galvatron. We're gonna see where... Yeah. Armada, Energon. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's Cybertron is the other way around, because in Energon and Generation 1, he starts silver or white, and then becomes purple when he's Galvatron. But then in Cybertron, he starts off as purple when he's Megatron, and then turns silver when he becomes Galvatron.
That's pretty fun. Yeah, I can kind of remember
Here we go.
I can remember Cybertron because that's the one with our worlds are in danger, and it was also like I watched it a little later than Energon.
Here we go, look. Resurrected as Megatron once more for the Unicron Trilogy's final chapter, Cybertron. The Decepticon leader now bought armor forged from Unicron's very shell. It was with this armor which allowed him to once again upgrade himself with a new body and name. After being defeated by Metroplex, leader of planet Giganteon. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Here we go, found it. I was right. Megatron's seizing rage combined with the dark energies of the armor to reformat him into a new, more powerful form.
So he's just angry.
Yeah, so he literally just got angry, drank the super juice, and turned into Galvatron. That's it.
That's kind of like a Super Saiyan transformation.
Yeah.
Oh? Oh no. You alright? Maybe not. Ah, damn it.
Yeah, there we go. It keeps disconnecting. Like, it's weird.
Ah. Yeah, I think this might be the last or the final, like second to last run of the night, because we've been going for a while.
Yeah, good 3 hours.
Yeah, I think this will be the second to last one, and then I'll do one more, and then I'll hop off. I also caught another Touhou streamer the other day. What's his name? Glimmerglaze, which is a pretty cool name if you ask me.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, he was playing one of the more recent ones, and I couldn't believe how good the soundtrack was. It's like,
yeah,
I basically only know Touhou 6 OST and Night of Nights, but like,
yeah,
it's fucking good. Like, I can't remember what it was exactly, but I'll you know what? I'll send it to you, because I thought it was really good. And also, you should just, like, I can't send the audio of this to you, at least not yet, so I should at least be able to send you the OST. You alright?
Yeah, I think it's just my Wi-Fi's being an absolute dickhead, because like it keeps doing the thing where it like disconnects and reconnects me about 6 times in a row.
Ugh. Yeah.
Because as I say, I was looking up like the difference in color between Armada Megatron and Armada Galvatron, and it's very minor.
Huh. That's interesting. Is it the same, like, body?
That's it. Yeah, it's the same body. Like, cause that's the thing with Galvatron. That he doesn't actually change his body. He just gets a color switch.
Really? I thought I remembered from, like, Gen 1, he became, like, a completely different weapon.
Oh yeah, in Gen 1 he gets a complete overhaul, but in the Unicron trilogy he just gets a color switch.
Okay.
Because he goes from like a handgun to like a mounted turret in Gen 1.
Yeah.
So, that was one of my favourite scenes in the film, where he crashes Starscream's coronation. He just goes, "Where? Megatron, is that you? Here's a hint." Bang! Just blows into smithereens.
Yeah, I love that. Although I did think it was pretty, like, dumb. Oh, no. I thought it was pretty dumb like that Megatron was always like not a vehicle, and he could just like, I don't know, like Megatron turning into a gun, like,
Yeah.
doesn't he need someone to use him?
Yeah, because that's the thing, is like, he can't really be a Transformer, because he just turned into a gun, and he already has the gun on his arm, so him transforming is pretty useless.
This is a bad run. It's because I dissed Megatron.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
it's
that's why I like his designs better in Armada and Energon, is because in Armada he turns into a tank,
yeah.
and in Energon he turns into like an armored space jet with a tank on the back.
That's what I like to see. Okay.
Yeah, because his vehicle form in Energon is like this really cool Space Harrier looking thing with a tank on the back of it.
Yeah, I can never figure out how to transform his figure. Maybe I just didn't have the right parts. Like I lost.
Oh, do you still have it?
I think so, but I don't.
Because I don't have it anymore. I gave it to my friend, but
I might have it. I might not. I think I definitely have the Optimus from Energon.
yeah, so I had one of those as well, where his hand like got stuck, so he just has one normal hand and one just like kind of like an angled gun.
When when Deltarune Chapter 3 comes out inevitably, like in like a year or so, I'm guessing. Like, and I play it with Mitt, I'm gonna be so much fucking better at dodging everything.
Oh yeah.
Like, I believe that there was, like, I know that the bullet hell genre is like very influenced by Touhou, but like, I think Toby Fox was specifically influenced by Touhou at some point. And I remember that Zune, the developer of the series, has actually played Undertale, and he says that his favorite track is Battle Against a True Hero.
Yeah. I mean, as much as it's memed, the Undertale soundtrack is awesome.
Oh no, it's like fucking incredible. Like,
yeah.
If you wanted a class on how to use leitmotifs, you don't need a class, just listen to the fucking Undertale soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know where Toby Fox did a song, one of the OSTs for Sword and Shield Pokemon.
Yeah, and the joke was that like it sounded a little bit like The Baby Is You.
Yeah.
Or like one of the tracks for The Baby Is You. I actually read up about that when I was reading Homestuck, which is actually pretty good. Like, it falls a little towards the end, but like I definitely recommend that people read it. But the joke with that is that like there was a ban on fanfic and fan art, which involved mpreg.
Oh right.
And so Toby Fox said, "Okay, no fan art, no fanfic. How about I write a musical instead?"
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Actually, that was a I just remember the when we were talking earlier about the idea of like the ghost character going around possessing different people.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought it was Starscream. There's another Transformers character that does it in
The Mask.
Transformers Beast Machine. Yeah. No, I was thinking of Beast Machines. I put that out of my mind.
Oh.
Beast Machine is shit. It's the I don't mean Beast Wars. I mean Beast Machine, the sequel to Beast Wars.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's it wasn't very good because Megatron had like a bunch of different bodies in that one. Because his original body's destroyed, and he has to keep stealing other people's bodies.
Okay, that's pretty interesting.
Like by the end of the series, he actually uses the main character's older body.
Is that Optimus Primal?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know that it's like slightly different from Optimus Prime.
Yeah. Because there's one where he's just a giant floating head. There's one where he uses Optimus Primal's old body where he was also like a space jet.
Oh, damn.
There was one where he was just like a little drone worker robot. And there was another weird one where he was like in an organic body, and he was like this weird dragon thing that then turned into a werewolf.
Werewolf is
and he tries
8 characters.
Yeah. And he tries to
That's actually really cool. Sorry, I glossed over that. That's really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, then the weird thing that happens is like I haven't seen Beast Machines in its entirety. I've just seen a clip of like Megatron's different possessions. But I think what happens is like when he's in the thing, he tries to do something where like he needs to be a robot for it to work. And he says like, no, it's not going to work as long as I'm stuck in this accursed organic form.
Interesting.
And then after that, there's just a video of him like holding some sparked wires until his ghost like flies out of it.
Oh,
so,
wow.
I think like in that scenario, Megatron electrocutes himself to death so that he can possess something else.
That's pretty fucking metal.
Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, as I say, because I preferred him in because there was the giant head one. There was one where he was basically the Emperor from Star Wars Episode 9. Although what it reminds me of is
God, I love Episode 9. I hate it so much, but I love it. Sorry.
Yeah.
You were saying.
Speaking of Episode 9, have you seen the film 9?
Oh, that's the one with the little sack boys, and it's really traumatizing.
Yeah, because it reminds me of the bad guy from that. Because that's like kind of got this little lever arm thing that's connecting it to the factory that it's in. And that was the first appearance of Megatron in that. Then he's the giant head. I don't know if it's in the right order, but then, yeah, as well as that, he's a giant head. He's the drone. He's the werewolf thing.
I do like the idea.
Primal's old body. Yeah.
I do like the idea of like someone switching bodies, but I feel like to a certain extent, it's like, well, how do we use character design properly when it's like all these different designs? Like, it can be done, but it's really difficult.
Yeah. That was the other character I was thinking of that switches between bodies. It's Bison from Street Fighter.
And Bison?
Yeah, like, he keeps, like, possessing other bodies that just so happen to look like his original one.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember hearing about that. That was like, he keeps a load of copies of his body that he can like transfer his soul into. It's like
because in Street Fighter 4, like that was his plan, is to use the bad guy from that. His plan was to possess him, like and like use his body as a permanent home.
Yeah, God. There is a horror to that. I think. God. I think the best one that's used that I can think of is the She-Ra reboot, Like,
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, okay. You definitely should. It's really fucking good. And the bad guy is a religious cult leader, and he has like loads of bodies, but he only actually really uses one. And every time it's like another body, it's like I don't know how to describe it. It's like the way that it uses it is really interesting.
Yeah.
Like, just fucking go see it. Go see the gay ass scene where She-Ra frees Catra from him possessing her with the power of love. It's more the power of what's it the power of? It's the power of something.
Yeah.
The power of love
Also,
comes later.
I was gonna say with Megatron in it, he has all those bodies in the first one, but he only has 2 in the original Beast Wars because he still becomes Galvatron in that one. In the first one, he turns into a purple T-Rex.
Hell yeah!
Then he falls into lava. Yeah, and then he falls in lava, and he's presumed dead. Then he comes out as a dragon.
What the fuck? Oh my god, that's incredible.
Yeah, he falls in lava and turns into a dragon.
Yes! I mean, hey, it's like one of the, I mean, it's kind of hearsay, but one of the theories of, how dragons got started is people found, old dinosaur bones, or maybe just whale bones. Yeah. I was like, I think that's an awesome idea.
Yeah, because that's where Cyclops came from. Is people finding mammoth skulls.
Oh! Yeah, because I've seen... Oh, no.
Yeah.
I've seen...
Yeah, because, they have, a big hole in the middle of their skull, which looks like a big eye socket.
I've freaking got photos of a elephant skull that I saw in Zambia. And, for one thing, you're right that it does that. And also, another fun fact is that its entire skull is made out of a honeycomb structure to keep its head light enough so that it doesn't fall onto the floor.
Oh, right, yeah. Kind of like how birds have the same thing to keep them afloat when they're in the air.
Yeah. I love it. I love it so much. But, yeah. Probably can't go back to... Yeah. Because the last time I went to Zambia, I had not come out as bisexual. And I did not know at that time that being gay was a crime in Zambia. And I don't think that they... I don't think they much care. I don't think the police much care what the distinction is.
Yeah. But yeah, here we go.
Maybe it's changed. But yeah.
Yeah, I was just searching up elephant skull and actually found a picture on Reddit comparing a Cyclops statue to the skull of a pygmy elephant.
Yeah.
Because it has tusks as well, which look like a pygmy elephant tusk.
I think that's fascinating. I do like a lot of history like that and folklore. The wars I can take or leave, but some of that is fucking fascinating.
Yeah. I was gonna say, there's also the weird drawings of different creatures you got from the Middle Ages of people going to exotic countries, describing the animals there, and people just absolutely fucking up on the recreation.
I think they should have at least, drawn their own impression. It might not have been that good, but it would, give the artist something to no. It would have given the artist something to work off of.
Yeah. I'm gonna try searching this up for medieval speculative zoology. I just try medieval zoology, see if that comes up. Yeah, there's a bunch of weird ones to these.
I wish I had more control over, like, how things look on the stream, so that I could, like...
Yeah.
So that we could see...
Actually, speaking of mythological creatures, like, I was looking through the different cryptids that you can find in America, and I found out about something called I think it's called a slide rock bolter.
Wait, what? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's a cryptid called the slide rock bolter.
The slide rock... The what?
Slide rock bolter.
Slide rock bolter. Did I get that right?
Yes. Basically, what it is it's a whale that swims through land instead of water.
That's... Wait, what?
Yeah, it's a whale that swims through land instead of water, and it's said to cause landslides.
That's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Through land.
Apparently, it'd be found in the Colorado mountains.
Through land.
Maybe it's more of a giant fish than a whale. But, like, the picture I'm seeing, I think whale.
That's a really weird. So, like.
Although,
so it doesn't just like
America
walk on the. It doesn't just walk on the like land. It like what burrows through it like some kind of mole or.
Yeah, kind of like burrows through it like on the top though. So it like kind of digs a path through the surface.
Huh. It's really weird.
I think it was just a really early explanation for. I think it's just a really early explanation for landslides that people came up with.
Okay.
But yeah, America has a bunch of weird cryptids. Like, my favorite weirdest one is probably the squonk.
The what?
The squonk.
The squonk?
Yeah, the squonk.
The squonk.
Let me look
Oh
at
wow,
its
this is a terrible run. I'm gonna close off this stream with this run.
Ah.
But it's okay, because I still got like further than I ever had before earlier. So like, I'd still consider that a victory.
Yeah.
And besides, I'll...
Apparently, speaking of the squonk, apparently it appears in two songs. It appears in Any Major Dude Will Tell You by Steely Dan. And Genesis also pays tribute to it in a song all about the creature's sad life. So here we go. The legend holds that the creature's skin is ill-fitting, being covered with warts, and that because it is ashamed of its appearance, it hides it from plain sight, and spends most of its time weeping. Hunters who have tried catching squonks have found out the creature is capable of dissolving completely into a pool of tears and bubbles when cornered.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So it just hates itself and cries its problems away. There you go. A man named J.P. Wentling is supposed to have coaxed the creature into a bag, of which, when he carried it home, it suddenly lightened. Upon further inspection, he found that all that remained was the liquid remains of the sad animal.
That sounds like oh, it's definitely real, and I definitely caught it, but like...
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even get up to Patchouli in this run. That's a shame.
Oh, damn. Yeah.
How about I play... No, that would take too long. I was about to say, how about No, I can play my more recent really good run, and I can do it at super speed. Okay.
Because I'm probably gonna have to like go soon because I need to get to bed early for work tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Because like I need to get up at 6 and be there at 7:30.
Look at this.
Let me open my okay, it's just going through all of it at the moment. Like speeding through everything.
Yeah, I love it. I had no idea that you could do this, but it's like incredible.
Is it like?
Oh no! This is me speeding up the gameplay by pressing control.
Right. I thought it was just like really lagging behind and just going super fast to catch up with everything.
No, this is how it looks. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine? I think when this first came out, when like Windows 10 or Windows 11, when they first, what? Did I seriously die twice to channel on this run? Anyway, when the when Windows 10 or 11 or something came out, and people tried to play Touhou on it, seriously 3 times? They couldn't because like it hadn't adapted the frame rate properly, so it was just always really fast, and you couldn't do anything.
Oh man, that's a shame.
But yeah, I think that they've since patched it because I'm pretty sure that I'm playing on that Windows model, so. Huh. Yeah, okay, I'm starting to remember stuff about this run. Because it started off pretty badly, but I was able to dodge a lot later in the run.
Yeah.
God, now I'm wondering how I'm actually gonna do this, because I don't remember what I did.
Ah. Yeah, that may be a problem.
No, it's not. It's just I'm gonna find out what I did.
Right.
I went for a slightly less efficient kill on the clock fairies. Well, that's not their actual name, but that's what the guide that I used called them. Okay, I've died once in this fight. And then I bombed there. And I'm gonna bomb again because there's no way to actually beat that spell. Okay, this looks pretty good. I was able to dodge a lot of shit there.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Okay, and then I bomb because you got me fucked up if you think I'm gonna be able to dodge all that.
Yeah.
And then... yeah, the second half of that stage is actually pretty easy.
Yeah, it's like once you get past the major hump, it's
yeah.
great.
And Sakia herself isn't as difficult to defeat as Patchouli. Her non-spells are really difficult though. Okay.
Right.
So I did... yeah, so that run that I did there, like near the beginning, was actually pretty good. it was definitely better than that run.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna put some music on and then we're gonna close out. If that's all right.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, to stay up, we're gonna need to be getting to bed in like the next hour.
Yeah, because it's coming up on 9 o'clock. So yeah, is there anything else you wanted to
Yeah.
talk about?
Um, not really, no.
No. Well, I hope you're doing very well.
I think, yeah, thanks. I mean, my brain's kind of fried at the moment, so
Yeah, get some good rest. And yeah, I'm gonna close off the stream. I hope Twitch chat has a good night.
Okay.